distraught yesterday, if I can be honest with y'all watching that game. I was distraught. Y'all know I am a huge Tua fan, and I'm a huge Niners fan. I didn't know how to feel, what to feel, if I could feel, but I had to feel, and be real with y'all. The Niners beat the Dolphins down. They really did. Tua played his worst game of the season, but it wasn't coincidence. It was because that Niners defense makes you feel them. Even if they're not there, footsteps. Hufanga chasing people down. Fred Warner banging people, bam, bam. I mean, Nick Bosa, oh my God. The Niners.
Put some respect on Dre Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw, and
like
he got that big arm sleeve, make him look even more intimidating. The Niners defense was crazy. I'm not worried even without Jimmy G being gone. I know it counters a lot of what I say, but I'm familiar with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was a 4-year starter in the Big 12 at Iowa State. He was 3 times All Big 12, 2 times first team, 1 time second team. He's played with NFL talent. He was Breece Hall's quarterback. Breece Hall, who was running away with Offensive Rookie of the Year before he ran himself into an injury. So Brock Purdy taking over for Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't worry me. Also got a text from a Niners receiver yesterday who told me Brock Purdy has a lot of Jimmy G in him. Y'all take that for what it's worth. Whoa. But if you can come in as a backup and win that game having to throw the ball 30-plus times, that to me says a whole lot. What I learned is that the Niners are as legit as I thought they were, but now the Niners have arrived. I knew, Joy, they were on the way. I knew, Shady, they were en route, but now they're here.
Acho, wait, what did the wide receiver tell you?
He told me that Brock Purdy got some of that Jimmy G in him.
You know what that means, Joy?
4 playoff wins?
He must hand the ball off very well. He must be like, what I learned from this game, right, with the 49ers is that Philadelphia, they're going to be hard to beat, man. We can beat them, though, but it's going to be hard. They're physical. They're tough. They run the ball well, right? Like they control the game. I guess, let me give you a sense of basketball. Like, you ever had a team of basketball, they play great defense, and they pass, picks, pass.
Old school Spurs.
The only way we're going to score if we get a good shot. Like, they don't get into no trouble. They run the ball to get the plays they want. They throw screens. They're safe with the football. They play lights out on defense, get after the quarterback. They stop the run. I mean, like, the things they did to the Dolphins, I was surprised to see that. I thought it would be like, at least, I wouldn't say it would be like a shootout, because Jimmy G is limited in that part of his game, like throwing the ball a lot. I knew it would be a controlled game, but I thought it would be better, like more competitive, and it wasn't. And I give them a lot of credit. They handled business.
All right, Niners fans. You done called me a lot of names in the last 24 hours. I'm not sensitive. It's okay. It was an unbelievable ass-kicking yesterday.
Yeah.
The ass-kicking was just...
There it is. I was going to do it if she didn't.
Tua looked terrible. Dolphins couldn't get anything done. Outside of the very first play of the game, it was nonsense from that point forward.
And the bomb the hill.
And the backup quarterback did that. So then I want to talk about the Dolphins right now. We have plenty of the rest of the week to do that. But that Niners defense is generational. And you were early to this. Now, they haven't given up prior to this game any points in the second half in the last 4 games. So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise to us. But that being a primetime game against a really good opponent was a, let's call it now what it is, a signature win. And it wasn't just a win, it was an ass-kicking, and you did it with your backup quarterback. Now, there's 2 separate conversations here, because there was what happened yesterday and what's going to happen moving forward with the Niners, because they are not the same team that they went into that game as. Because Jimmy Garoppolo is gone for the rest of the season. Now, you might not think much of Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy Garoppolo does have postseason wins. He does have experience, and Brock Purdy has neither of those things. But so I don't know how you feel if you're a Niners fan. I've talked to some Niners fans. Some of y'all still talk to me. And there is this belief that they can get it done just the same with Brock Purdy. So either that says very little about Jimmy Garoppolo, or they really believe that that defense is going to show up the way it did against the Dolphins, which they have been for the past 5 weeks. So San Francisco is a very scary team.
If the Cowboys can do what they did with Cooper Rush, then I don't know why a Niner fan would be worried about Brock Purdy. Like, the Niners, the formula is right there. And what I learned, I can't say the Niners have arrived until I see more. Not just they lost their quarterback. They lost their quarterback. I just want to see more of Brock Purdy before I'm like, they have arrived. But what I can definitively say is that defense delivered on every bit of the hype. You know, we made some glib comments on this show, like, oh, the Chiefs worked them up and down the field. That was unreal. And, like, I know the Dolphins had some injuries on the offensive line. The cliche is that you get a quarterback seeing ghosts. Tua was hearing ghosts yesterday. Like he missed so many open receivers because he was so worried about that rush. And I couldn't help but laugh. Like halfway through the game, how tired do you think the Dolphins were of seeing Nick Bosa just like
Oh, yeah.
I love that celebration.
Yeah, right.
light work.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Dolphins.
Light work.
We were like, they made it look so easy how much they flustered him. The Dolphins didn't even try to run the ball.
Yeah,
they were
already knew.
averaging 111 yards a game coming into that. They'd run the ball pretty well over the last month. They just stopped trying. They ran the ball 8 times for 30 yards. Like, to completely give up because you know it's that hopeless, it says a lot about what that Niner defense is about. And yeah, like maybe it sounds disrespectful in the NFL, but like they look different from most teams. Like just the way that they pound on people, the physicality that they play with.
You mean on defense or you mean on
Defense. Well, defense specifically.
No.
Defense specifically, but
Yeah,
period.
first of all,
No,
so
they don't look different on offense.
that's what I'm saying. Like, come
They
on.
look different on defense. And because they look so different on
Correct.
defense,
That's what I'm saying.
it
Different.
allows the offense to
Yes,
do what they
I would
do.
agree. Correct. That's what I'm getting at.
So even losing Jimmy G, right? This is why I still think they're still dangerous because of that defense and that running game. We always talk about all, like Jimmy G wins these games in the playoffs and et cetera and the experience. But I mean, like anybody can do that job in the playoffs that he does, right? I mean, now I'm being serious. I think having a young quarterback back there, right? That's the perfect offense you want to be in. A Jimmy G offense. There's no games in the playoffs he's go out there and wins. We agree on that, right? Me, you agree on that, right?
Yep.
In the playoff games, all this experience that he talked about with Jimmy G, he don't go in the playoff games and win them games.
But you know this much.
Hold on. He don't go in there and win them games with his arm.
He doesn't lose them, though.
I mean, okay, we're going to run this ball out. We'll let this crazy defense that's different win the games. I think with a young quarterback, you can still win the same way.
I agree.
So they're still dangerous.
There's no reason a Niner fan should be like, oh my God, we don't have Jimmy.
Unless they get down by like 17 points, something like that. It's hard.
Which won't happen because their defense, unless you're playing like the Chiefs or maybe the Bills.
So in the postseason.
Correct. Correct.
Wait, why you ain't
Eagles aren't getting up 17 points against the Niners.
14 points maybe?
10. But they're not getting up. You got to have a crazy, explosive, ridiculous, crazy, offense.
Like throwing for over 300 yards against the Titans?
Yeah, I just don't see A.J. Brown catching the ball on one of those Niners.
Let's not talk. We should not talk about the Eagles in this conversation. Let's just keep it to the Niners.
I mean, their secondary ain't like that.
So excited.
Wait. The best part of their defense ain't the
Not
secondary.
secondary at all.
Oh,
they got a different level of heart. They got a different level of heart. You know D'Amico. You know D'Amico Ryans personally.
I know
him well.
Dog.
You know him well.
We talk the secondary.
I don't care who you're talking
in the
about.
secondary,
Niners are no punks. Niners are not getting this.
Who said that?
I didn't say nobody's a punk.
I know. I'm saying the Titans got punked yesterday. A.J. Brown had the most wide open reception for a touchdown all season because he ran over a DB.
No.
Which one of these Niners DBs getting run over?
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just talking about this covering as like corners. Like, that's not the best thing about it.
No.
They get to the quarterback
Correct.
super fast, so the ball comes out a lot earlier than most. But the best team for them is the Eagles. Not because it's LaShawn McCoy Eagles. It's because they have a great offensive line. Yeah. And we block defenders.
That's a great matchup. That's a great matchup.
I want to see that game.
It's a great matchup. Coming up, we got to talk about Lamar Jackson. Remember, he wants $250 million guaranteed, but ching, he had an injury yesterday that might actually derail all of that money talk. We got to share our thoughts on that next. Do not go anywhere. This is big time.
What do you want? Two big?
They won yesterday, beating the Broncos, but the bad news, Lamar Jackson is out for at least this week, Coach Harbaugh says, due to a knee injury that he sustained. He's week to week. But remember, he's playing in the final year of his contract, and he wants a fully guaranteed deal. Y'all know what it is. Let's come on, Cam, and talk about this very, very quickly. Lamar Jackson. I'm very troubled about the injury for this reason. When you think about the quarterbacks in the NFL that are run heavy, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, 4 of those 5 have been hurt this year. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. 3 of those 5 have missed games this year due to injury. So 60% have missed games due to injury and 80% have gotten hurt. Lamar Jackson is injured once again. Furthermore, he's missed last season games with injury and he got knocked out 2 years ago in the playoffs because of injury. That is why I am concerned. But Shady, quickly, you concerned at all about Lamar?
I'm not concerned. No, I mean, I just think that he needs to come back when he's at least 90%, feeling good, feeling healthy. I think he'll get paid no matter what. I think he'll get paid. It's just a matter of how much. I don't see that 250. That's dead. We cut that out. And also after we seen how Deshaun looked playing, even if he's rested or not, like it shouldn't be that bad. So that 250, that might be dead.
I never thought that the 250 was realistic to begin with. I just don't think that anyone in the business of writing checks is going to warm up to that idea. Like, they would rather just move on and start over than to write a $250 million guaranteed check to one player. But the injury thing doesn't really concern me. Lamar is very tough, and he's going to be back out there. I'm more concerned about the Ravens overall. I mean, like, you got to start showing me something inspirational here going into the rest of the season. It's not. I'm not as confident about them as I was at the beginning of the season.
Dave, take us home.
I watched Dak Prescott have his ankle point the opposite way that it's supposed to point. And he came back. He still is a great quarterback. He got his payday. It'll be, yes, great. It'll be great. It'll be fine in the long run for Lamar. I'm not worried about him. He'll get his money. The Ravens, yeah. I don't know about the Ravens, though.
And you know who should be worried about? Broncos.
Yeah, big worry. Yo, that's it for us. Thanks for hanging. We'll see y'all tomorrow.